We are now, as I count them, 37 days away from the NFL draft. So let's welcome in draft expert Ryan Wilson on his maybe 127th mock draft. Not that much, but it feels like it. You've been doing a great job. So taking a look at your latest mock, Ryan, and it's getting more interesting because a lot of teams are making moves. So we're getting a better idea of what teams may do. Let's start with the Panthers. You have them trading up to get the Jets' second overall pick. In return, the Jets get 873 of 2021 first rounder. And Ryan, all of that is for Justin Fields. Give us your reasoning behind this.
That's right, Amanda. So the Panthers currently sit at 8. And if they really love one of these quarterbacks, and I will say that NFL teams are doing a great job of being tight-lipped about who they like outside of Urban Meyer prancing around at the Trevor Lawrence Pro Day, because we know they're taking Trevor Lawrence. But after that, things get interesting. So the Panthers need a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater isn't the short-term or the long-term answer. And if Justin Fields is their guy, they will probably have to trade up and go get them. So they move from number 8 to number 2. And we know that owner David Tepper has been very aggressive about making this football team better. And Justin Fields, to me, feels like a better version of Cam Newton when Cam Newton was coming out of college. He's a better thrower already. He runs just as well. He's just as fast, just as physical, but he can do more with his arm. And I think with a month on the bench, when you get drafted top 5, top 10, you don't get to sit on the bench the whole year, even though you should sometimes. But I think 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks on the bench, and then you put him out there. And that's a great way to start his career with Joe Brady as the offensive coordinator in Carolina. I like this move a lot. And especially if you're not going to sit around and wait for something to fall to you at 8, you go get it if you're the Carolina Panthers and David Tepper.
Ryan, let's talk about the 49ers. Their biggest move so far this offseason has been to give Trent Williams a monster contract. So, of course, the question is, at quarterback, what do you do there? And you have the 49ers trading up to snag a quarterback. Tell us about that.
So it's not a huge secret that the 49ers haven't nosed around about the idea of upgrading the quarterback position. Nothing definitive has obviously happened yet. Jimmy Garoppolo is still there. And when he's healthy, he's played pretty well, but I would imagine that Kyle Shanahan feels this offense can take a next step with a slightly more consistent quarterback. So if they feel like someone like Zach Wilson makes sense for them and they want to move up from 12 to go get him, should he happen to fall, typically I have him going number 2 to the Jets. But in this mock draft, because of the trade, Zach Wilson slips a little bit to number 6. And if that's a guy Kyle Shanahan wants to go get and John Lynch wants to go get, by all means, give up a second-round pick to go do that. And then Zach Wilson is the guy who had such a fantastic 2020 season, a little uneven in 2019, partly because of injuries, but he advanced as a player, he matured as a player, and I think he would excel in Kyle Shanahan's scheme because of the athleticism in the pocket, because of the amazing arm strength, and the really good decision-making. So all those things taken together, is he an upgrade over what they have now, Jimmy Garoppolo? On paper, yeah, he feels like it. We'll see what the transition looks like going from Division I football, not Power 5, but certainly playing some good talent, and then the NFL transition, what does that look like? But right now, I think that if Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch like a player like Zach Wilson because of those physical attributes, go get him. Why not?
All right, Ryan, so far, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, all off the board. 2 teams trading up to get those guys. Let's go back to the Jets because they traded back with the Panthers, so they now have 8 and 23 there in the first round. And at 8, Ryan, you still have them getting a quarterback. Who is it?
It's my guy, man. It's Mac Jones, who's currently at his pro day at Alabama as we speak. And wait, I'm watching. He ran a 4.3 just now. Mac? No, he didn't run a 4.3. But in my dreams, Mac Jones is running a 4.3. That's how good Mac Jones is. But he's sitting there at 8. And again, we don't know how the Jets feel about Sam Darnold. Pete Prisco said before in HQ that there's some disagreement about whether to roll with Sam Darnold or to try to get a quarterback early in the draft. So you trade down, you get the extra picks, you get an extra first-round pick, and you can still get Mac Jones at 8. I think that's a no-brainer move because of the high upside, the high floor that he has as a player. He's not athletic. He's not going to run a 4.3, but he's athletic enough. And I think he's maybe slightly less athletic than Sam Darnold, if that's something you're interested in. But I think he makes so many good decisions, and he played better at Alabama for me than Tua did. And I've talked to people that agree with that at the Alabama program. So I think that at 8, if he's there and you're still trying to figure out what to do at quarterback near the Jets, take Mac Jones. It's sort of best case scenario because you get the picks as well.
I'm going to get you a shirt for Mac Jones, Ryan Wilson, for the night of the draft. All right, let's talk about Penei Sewell because this is really interesting. In your latest mock, you've had him as high as 2 overall. Here you have him sliding all the way down to the Cowboys at 10. As far as the Cowboys and a lot of mocks, you have them taking a corner, but because he's here, they might as well take him. So explain this situation.
Yeah, that's right. So the trades that we've talked about certainly play a role in Penei Sewell slipping. And then what happens, we have some runs on wide receivers. And I'll tell you this, Amanda, I went back and looked. This is mock draft version 29. In 13 of them, I've had Penei Sewell going to the Bengals at 5 because it makes too much sense. Today on Twitter, Bengals fans want me to be drug tested. They're very angry that I would take a wide receiver over taking someone like Penei Sewell, who slips here in this case to 10. I think you're exactly right. I think he goes probably to the Bengals at 5. But the Cowboys need help along the offensive line. They've done some things in free agency to help the defense where there have been some questions, obviously, last year. And they can certainly address some more defensive needs, whether it be a cornerback or an edge rusher at 10 here, because I don't think Penei Sewell's going to be here. I do think the Bengals, if he's on the board at 5, will take him. But in this mock draft, I had him slipping a little bit to make things spicy. And the reaction I got on Twitter was pretty spicy.
Yeah, I don't know why fans they just want you to get drug tested all the time. That's the only reaction. First it was the Eagles, now it's the Bengals. Who else knows? All right, Ryan Wilson, we appreciate you, though. We think you're a very intelligent human. Thanks so much for joining us for your latest mock draft. By the way, you can hear much more about Ryan's mock drafts. Also, NFL free agency roundup. Download and subscribe to the Pick 6 podcast.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.